I did it yesterday, so you can see. It's amazing. It's beautiful.
I feel like a completely different person. I feel happier. I look at myself at the window, at the mirror, and I see almost a better version of myself.
I have seen contact lenses take out people's vision. Literally, young, normal people losing vision and going blind.
It's painless. I didn't feel anything blurry, but you can still like move around and live your life after the surgery. I love the results. I feel great. Really happy about it.
All right, y'all, before we dive into it, let's get something straight. I am not an optometrist, an eye doctor, any kind of medical professional. I'm simply just a curious soul who did a little deep dive into this topic, and now I'm here to share it with you all. This video is for educational purposes only, so do your own research, consult a real doctor if you need to, and don't try suing me if your eyes start feeling a little funny after watching this. Cool? Cool.
Oh my God. I cannot believe it. That is shocking and devastating. I can't believe it.
Let's talk about something we all love, but maybe don't respect as much as we should. And I know you're probably thinking eyes. Well, yes, but also contact lenses. As much as some of y'all love them, they have some serious beef with your eyeballs if you are not treating them right. First off, let's chat about why it is so darn important to take those contacts out when you're supposed to. Your eyes need to breathe, people. I don't know if your doctor doesn't tell you that. I'm gonna tell you that. They're not a fish. They cannot live underwater indefinitely. Contacts can block the flow of oxygen to your cornea, which is the clear dome-shaped surface that covers the front of your eye. When your cornea doesn't get enough oxygen, it starts to feel like you're trying to survive on one lung. Spoiler alert, if you didn't know, that is not good, okay? To simply explain it, it's almost like a bouncer for your eyes, which is the first line of defense, keeping out all the dirt and all the germs while helping you focus on what really matters. Like that funny cat video you're watching instead of doing your job. I see you, lady, and all of y'all that watch the dog ones as well. I'll tell you this much, you do not want to mistreat your cornea. It is not just gonna stand there and take it, all right? It is going to fight back, and trust me, you do not want to be in the receiving end of that. It will cause you to lose your vision, but more on that here in a bit. The real nightmare fuel of this entire discussion is going to be corneal ulcers. I was just as shook as some of you may be right now. These bad boys are open sores on your cornea that can form when you leave your contacts in for too long. And just like a questionable burrito, they bring along a whole bunch of unwanted side effects like pain, blurry vision, and even pus. Yes, I said it, pus. Gross. But there's more. Ever heard of a bacterial infection? Yeah, we're talking about one of those. When you sleep in your contacts or leave them in for longer than recommended by your doctor, you're basically rolling out the red carpet for bacterial molds right into your eyes. And trust me, they're not there to go party with you. They are in there like a wrecking ball about to wreck the place up. So please be mindful and listen to your doctor. I know some of y'all might say something, but honestly, I don't care. Last thing I need is my cleavage out in this video. I'm not having none of that. Now, if you think corneal ulcers are the worst it can get, let me introduce you to the big boss battle, a cornea transplant. I was shook. I saw it on TikTok. I am going to spare your precious eyes, okay? I will explain it instead. As you can imagine, this is where things get really serious. If your cornea gets too damaged, say from an ulcer that doesn't heal, you might need a new one. A corneal transplant is a whole different ball game. It's a surgical procedure where they replace your cornea with a healthy one from a donor. Yes, you heard me right. A donor. So unless you're into the idea of getting a hand-me-down cornea, take care of the one that you have got. All right, it is time to bust some myths. No, your eyes will not get used to having contacts in 24/7, and no, sleeping in your contacts is not just a casual suggestion you can ignore. If you think your eyes are invincible, think again. So the truth is, the longer you leave those lenses in, the more likely you are to damage your eyes. I know, shocker. And trust me, You do not want to end up with a permanent case of blurry vision. This is going to be an ongoing thing. A vision loss? Anybody? We only get 2 pairs of eyes, all right? So please, with the vision loss, let's get into the nitty-gritty. How exactly could you lose your vision from keeping contacts in for long? Well, the first one is hypoxia. Remember that oxygen the cornea needs that I was talking about? Yeah, lack of it can cause corneal swelling and blurry vision. Just picture that, your cornea swollen. Whew. Ooh, I'm getting goosebumps. I'm not even lying. The second one is corneal neovascularization. Whew. That is a long one, but this is just a fancy way of saying that the blood vessels start growing into your cornea because it is starved for oxygen, which is kind of interesting, but it can lead to permanent vision loss. And the third one is infections. We're talking about serious infections like bacterial keratitis, which can scar your cornea, and you guessed it, vision loss.
I take naps with contacts in. I hope that's not a problem. My name is Dr. Ina Lazar. I'm an eye doctor, and let me explain. Soft contact lenses, they're like a sponge. They will take in everything that hits your face throughout the day, whether it's pool water, tap water, pollen, and this bacteria really sits on the lens throughout the day. That's why it's so important to clean your lenses at the end of the day. So what happens when you take a nap is you close your eye, and darkness and warmth of your body, which is a perfect temperature of 36.6 Celsius, for this bacteria to grow and multiply. And that's how patients get corneal ulcers, is when they really create that perfect environment. I don't recommend sleeping or napping in contact lenses, but I really want you to understand the risks.
So if you're wondering what routine you should follow, well, the one the doctor recommended. For starters, always take your contacts out before you hit the hay. Your bed is for sleeping, not for your contacts. Follow the recommended replacement schedule for your lenses, whether that is daily, bi-weekly, or monthly. And please, for the love of all things holy, when you feel like something is off with your eyes, go see a doctor. Do not wait until your vision starts looking like a Monet painting gone wrong, okay? Go see your doctor. And while I'm at it, let's not forget about cleaning your lenses. Would you wear the same underwear day after day without washing it? I hope the answer is no. So please do not do it for your contacts either. Use fresh solution every time, and never ever calling y'all out. Y'all that top it off with the old solution, what are y'all doing? Your eyes deserve better. It may not come for you because I'm trying to educate and not bash. I'm really working on that, all right? It's just passion, okay? All in all, your contacts are like your friend, but only if you treat them right. Abuse them and you're in for a world of hurt, literally. So take care of your eyes, keep those lenses clean, and do not push your luck, because at the end of the day, your eyes are the windows to your soul, and you do not want those windows fogged up, cracked up, or even worse, permanently shut. Now, before we get into people changing their eye color, I did not forget about you cosplayers that use the colorful lenses. Some of y'all leave them on for way too long, and everything I have said yet in this video still applies to you, except there is a slight difference when it comes to colored lenses. So here is a video explaining exactly what you should be doing, and or just read the instructions that come with your lenses.
You wear these kinds of contact lenses, colored contact lenses, you need to listen, please. I'm seeing so many people make this mistake. It's totally not your fault because no one talks about it, but I am, and I really need you to listen. And I'm seeing people who wear contacts regularly make this mistake, because when you go to an eye doctor and you get contact lenses, you just take it out of the little thing they give you and you put it straight in your eye. With colored contact lenses, they come in these vials. Do not put them straight in your eye. The solution that is in these is for transportation only, and it is not neutralized. So I'm seeing so many people that are putting these contacts straight from here into their eyeballs, and they're like, oh, it burns a little and my eyes are really watery, because it's not neutralized. Your colored contact lenses need to sit in a contact lens case with contact solution for 6 to 8 hours. I do mine overnight. I totally get it because no one tells you. But I am telling you, so please, you're going to hurt your eyes. Your eyes are really important. Take care of them. And I know that you waited a month for your contacts to come in, but you can wait 6 to 8 more hours so that your eyes aren't burning. Thank you. This has been a PSA by me.
And there we have it. It's that simple. Please apply what your doctor is recommending for you when it comes to your contacts / your vision, as well as read the directions on the bottles and just do what they say.
If you wear contacts, you need to stop and watch this video right now. So I've worn contacts for probably 7 years now. For most of those years, for all of the years, I was sleeping in my contacts, like religiously. Like, you know how people religiously take them out? I religiously would sleep in them. It wasn't good, and I knew it wasn't good, but every time I went to the doctor, they would be like, your eyes look fine. Like, look everyone, I'm fine. Stop freaking out. That was up until like last month though. I was on a family vacation for like a reunion, and one of the nights I woke up out of my sleep. Oh, this is a little light. I was in the sun a lot. So when I went and looked in the mirror, I saw like a little white dot on my eye. I was like, I'm going to urgent care right now. You know when you just tell that there's something off with your body? Yeah, this was one of those moments. So that day, me and my dad went to urgent care. They didn't really help at all. And so we went to an optometrist. This lady comes, sweetest little angel, by the way. And she was like, yeah, you have an ulcer in your eye. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I was crying in that moment because of what she told me. So yeah, she said I had an ulcer in my eye, and it was definitely from me sleeping in my contacts. So I was sleeping in my contacts for at least 3 weeks, probably going on 4. But that's not even the scary part, just having an ulcer. So she explained it to me that we have 5 layers of our cornea. And when the bacteria got into my eye, it ate through that contact little hole and then ate through 2 layers of my eyeball. So this is what scared me the absolute most. She said that if this was just 3 milliliters over, I would have been blind. It's a lot for an eye. Your eye's this big. I can't see. That would have been me, but like for real, for real. Really crying the whole time with that lady. I thought my life was over. So yeah, needless to say, I have not slept in my contacts since. Like, you cannot catch me sleeping in my contacts. And if I do accidentally like take a little nap in them, wake up, bloop, I'm taking those out. She has scared me for sure, and I hope this video scares you. So the thing that she said to me that like opened my mind is that she was like, okay, let's say you don't take care of your teeth, you don't brush them, whatever, it falls out, you can get a new tooth. You don't take care of your eye, you can't get a new eye. You can't see magically.
All right, let's get into something that's not quite mainstream yet, but definitely has the potential to make some waves into the world of eye aesthetics. If you have not heard of keratopigmentation, buckle up, because this procedure is all about giving your eyes a brand new look. Literally. In simple terms, it is a cosmetic procedure designed to change the color of your eyes. This isn't about contact lenses or colored eye drops, which we'll get into here in a bit. We're talking about a permanent change to your eye color by altering the cornea itself. And we did talk about the cornea, so you guys have somewhat of an understanding what that looks like. Now let's talk about how this magic happens. So the procedure pretty much involves creating a tiny superficial channel in the cornea where the pigment is injected. The goal, well, it is to give your eyes a permanent tint of color. The whole process is minimally invasive and typically done with local anesthesia. So while you might be awake for it, your eyes won't feel a single thing. The pain is at a 0. And don't worry, this is not some shady back alley operation, but I am keeping my eyes on all you techs. I will make a video if you guys try it. This procedure is to be done by an ophthalmologist who knows their way around every single eyeball, all right? Please do not go to a future keratopigmentation freaking tech, okay? That was a lot, but do not do it. The pigments that are used in this procedure are biocompatible, meaning they are designed to work well with your body and minimize the risk of injections as well as complications. Now, you may be sitting there thinking, why in the world would a person want to be changing their color permanently? I do not know. I'm kidding. There are a few reasons. For some, it's purely cosmetic. They want to enhance their appearance or achieve a certain look that contact lenses just don't provide. I don't know what, you know what? No, I'm gonna say it. I don't know what color you might be wanting or what look specifically you wanting to achieve, but there are so many different colored eye contacts over there, all right? I digress. There are people who want blue eyes or even brown eyes if they were born with blue eyes, and the opposite. Y'all should know with all the videos that I have done. And this just makes their dream a reality, but keratosis pigmentation isn't just for vanity for the most part. It can also be used to correct a certain eye condition such as a corneal scar, disfiguration, or any other aesthetic issues that somebody might be going through. With everything that I've said, please do not get too carried away with the idea of dazzling you colored eyes. Like any old procedure, keratosis pigmentation comes with its own risk. The first one, which is the important one, is this is still a relatively new procedure in the grand scheme of things, so long-term data on its safety is very limited. Just look at it this way. It is the first version of a new gadget. You're excited, but you also know you're taking a huge risk. Also, for those of you that care, it is not FDA approved, at least not yet. And as you can imagine, potential complications can include but aren't limited to infection, inflammation, and even vision problems if things don't go as you planned. So proceed with caution. All in all, y'all, the cornea is a delicate part of the eye, and messing with it can have some serious complications. That is why it is so important to weigh the pros and the cons and make an informed decision if you're considering this procedure.
I'm Wes Cruz. Got this procedure here done with a doctor, and it's the most absolute, easiest, and painless procedure that I've ever gone through. I got the honey gold color for my eyes, and of course it's just cosmetic purposes. But now his staff, just the procedure in itself, there's not a lot of places that you can go to, even medical procedures, where the staff genuinely cares for the patient. And from day one, the counsel sessions, pre-op, post-op, everything has been great, and I highly recommend this procedure. And I would have done this a long time ago had I known.
How do you feel?
I feel amazing.
How would you describe the procedure itself?
It's actually a lot faster than I was expecting. It's not that bad, and then before you know it, it's just over. So, and then you wake up with these.
I traveled here from Texas, and I was looking for a new experience with my eyes. I've had dark brown eyes, and you couldn't see my pupils, and it's just something that I've lived with all my life. And when I saw this possibility, and I trusted this doctor for sure, I definitely jumped on the opportunity.
So is keratosis pigmentation worth it? If you were to ask me personally, if I saw you in real life, I would say no ma'am, no sir, don't do it. But for the sake of this video, I will say that it is all up to you to decide what you want to do with your darn eyes, okay? Do your homework, consult with professionals, and understand that it isn't something to take lightly. Your eyes are pretty important, if I say so myself, and you only get one pair. And with that one pair, you want to make sure that you are keeping them in tip-top shape.
Have you ever heard of color changing eye drops? This is Fancy Drop Beauty's viral eye color changing eye drops, and I decided to get the color Hazel. This is meant to take your eye color from its natural state to your desired color in no time with consistent use. All you do is apply at least twice a day, and you should see results in a few weeks. Stay tuned for results.
Moving on, now we're going to talk about something that sounds like it is straight out of a sci-fi movie. Eye drops that claim to change your eye color. You heard me right. There's a brand out there, this one right here, but we're going to call it, y'all see the name, we're going to call it Sketchy Drops, all right? And they're claiming that if you use their drops consistently for the amount of time given, you can have the eye color of your dreams. Brown to blue, no problem. Green to hazel, no problem. They make it sound like a simple journey, but as you might guess, there is a lot more to the story. First off, let's talk about their website, sketchydropbeauty.com. I took a look, and let me tell you, it is as sketchy as a back alley in a bad horror movie, all right? For starters, there's hardly any credible information about who's behind the brand. No names, no addresses, just a lot of glossy images and big promises. I've looked at a lot of sites in my life, and this one is just a site that is too good to be true. What's really concerning is the lack of transparency about the science behind these sketchy drops. They don't give you any clear information on how the product works, which should be a major red flag. So when a company is claiming to alter something as significant as your eye color, you would expect some type of serious scientific backing, right? right? Well, not here, all right? Not here. I further did my research and dug into the ingredients that are mentioned because this is where things get really interesting. We'll get into a doctor talking about the others, but they're calling them advanced pigments and color enhancing molecules. Now it does sound somewhat fancy, but if you're like me and you've done this countless times, it sounds more sketchy than fancy. And when you look just a little bit closer, there's no information on what these actually are and how they work. One ingredient in particular sounds like it came straight out of a sci-fi novel, and we're gonna call it Sketchy X. The problem with it is there is no research supporting its use for changing eye color. And the other ingredient that we're gonna name Sketchy Y is supposedly a natural compound that somehow alters melanin in your iris. But again, there is a suspicious lack of details or even studies that back this up.
These eye drops are claimed to change the color of your eyes, and they claim to make this change by reducing the amount of brown melanin in your iris. Now, is it true? And most importantly, is it safe? Let's find out. Let's have a close look at the ingredients to see, is there any truth to these claims? The first one is called Fancy Complex. That's all it says. So we don't know what Fancy Complex is, and I personally won't put anything in my eyes that I didn't know what the composition was. Now, all of the other ingredients, apart from one, are found in typical over-the-counter lubricating eye drops, so not much to worry about there. What about this last ingredient, so-called Ganoderma extract? Ganoderma extract is well known and has been used in traditional remedies, particularly in the Far East, for centuries. Now, some of the common use claims for this extract include boosting your immune system, helping with cardiovascular health, and having some anti-inflammatory properties. But what about pigment change? Well, some research from Taiwan in 2019 in the journal Microbiology did discover there were some effects of the extract of Ganoderma mushrooms on tyrosinase, which is an enzyme involved in melanin production. Now that sounds exciting, but we have to be careful here because there's different kinds of research. Now this was only shown in mouse melanoma cancer cells, and that's a long way from healthy cells, and even further from human cells, and even further still from studies in living creatures, including humans. So no human results, so more research is needed to show that these extracts are in fact safe and effective for humans. And for me, unless I know exactly what's in an eye drop, I'm not using it.
And there you guys have it. Also, just to add, if there's anybody thinking, well, we eat certain things and we don't know what's in them, we're talking about eyes here. All right, get over yourself. Let's continue. Now, the million-dollar question, can eye drops actually change your eye color? Short answer, highly unlikely in my opinion, and here's why. Your eye color is determined by the amount and type of pigment in your iris, primarily melanin. This isn't something that can just be dissolved or altered with a few drops of liquid in a certain amount of time. Now, there are some medical grade eye drops that can darken your eye as a side effect used to treat glaucoma, but these are not designed for cosmetic use, and the effects are usually gradual and unpredictable. What Sketchy Drops is claiming, permanent controlled eye color changing in whichever week, is, to put it bluntly, far-fetched at best and potentially dangerous at worst. But hey, what's the harm in trying it, right? Wrong. Messing with your eyes is no joke, y'all. Using unregulated, unproven eye drops could lead to a host of issues, from irritation and allergic reactions to more serious problems like corneal damage or even what? Vision loss, like we have been saying countless of times. And let's be real for a second. Do you really want to gamble with your eyesight just for the sake of a color change that may or may not even work? While the idea of changing your eye color with a few drops might sound tempting, Fancy Drops, telling it like it is now, raises far more red flags than it does green or blue or hazel between their sketchy website, questionable ingredients, questionable TikTok, as you guys have been seeing. It is hard to take their claims seriously. Your eyes are precious. Do not let them fall victim to a too good to be true promise, all right? So before you reach for that bottle of Fancy Drops, maybe just stick to colored contacts, or better yet, embrace the beautiful eye color you were born with in order to avoid all these unnecessary complications. After all, your eyes are unique and no bottle of drops is worth risking your health for. Stay safe, stay informed, and as always, please keep your eyes on the truth.